You wake up one morning and realize the guest room has quietly become your room. No big fight, no dramatic scene, just a gradual drift that turned temporary into permanent. And now here you are, wondering if this is just what happens after enough years together, or if you've accidentally stumbled into something you can't reverse. Imagine you're explaining this setup to a friend who asks why you're sleeping separately. You scramble for reasons that sound logical. She snores, you have different schedules, the mattress is too soft for your back. All technically true, but are they really the reason? Or are they just the cover story you've been telling yourself? How does a couple go from fighting over blanket territory to having entire rooms between them? It starts innocently enough. One person gets sick, someone's working late, the baby needs attention. Then those temporary solutions start feeling less temporary and more like a lifestyle upgrade. Here's what nobody tells you about separate beds. They're shockingly comfortable at first. You starfish across the entire mattress, control the temperature, watch whatever you want before falling asleep. It feels like a luxury hotel every night. No negotiations, no compromises, just pure, selfish sleep. But then something shifts. That luxury starts feeling less like freedom and more like distance. You notice you're not accidentally touching anymore, not having those half-asleep conversations at 2 a.m. The physical space becomes emotional space. And suddenly, your roommates who occasionally coordinate schedules. Now you're facing the strangest dilemma. Going back feels weird. You've both gotten used to your separate kingdoms, your individual routines, your personal sleep ecosystems. Suggesting you share a bed again feels vulnerable, almost like asking someone on a first date. When did your own wife become someone you need courage to sleep next to? Here's where your brain starts playing tricks on you. You wonder if the lack of interest in sharing a bed means lack of interest in her. You're connecting dots that might not actually connect. Sleep preferences and romantic feelings aren't the same thing, but they sure feel intertwined when you're lying there alone, wondering what went wrong. The truth is, plenty of couples sleep separately and maintain perfectly healthy relationships. But the question isn't whether it's normal, it's whether it's right for you two. Normal doesn't matter if you're feeling disconnected and confused about your own feelings. Let's expose the real mechanics here. Separate sleeping often becomes a convenient way to avoid intimacy without technically avoiding it. You're still married, still living together, still going through the motions, but you've removed one of the main opportunities for physical closeness. And closeness is sticky, it tends to breed more closeness. Think about what else changed when the bed separated. Are you still connecting in other ways? Still having dinner together, talking about your days, finding excuses to touch? Or did the separate beds become the first domino in a longer line of separations? The weirdness you feel about going back is actually information. It's telling you that somewhere along the way, vulnerability got scary. Sharing space means sharing yourself. And maybe that's started to feel risky or uncomfortable. The question is, why? Here's the satirical truth. We'll spend hours researching the perfect mattress firmness, but 0 minutes talking about why we need separate mattresses in the first place. We'll blame sleep cycles and temperature preferences instead of admitting we might be avoiding something deeper. Cue the ergonomic pillow ads and sleep hygiene articles that conveniently skip the relationship part. Consider the possibility that you haven't lost interest in her, you've lost comfort with intimacy. Those are related but different problems. One suggests the relationship is over. The other suggests it needs attention and probably some uncomfortable conversations. The real-world impact of prolonged separate sleeping is subtle but significant. Physical distance makes emotional distance easier to maintain. You stop reading each other's body language. Stop intuiting moods. Stop having those random moments of connection that happen when you're literally in the same space for 8 hours every night. Some relationship experts say separate beds are the secret to long marriages. Others call them the beginning of the end. Who's right? Probably both, depending on why you're doing it and whether you're addressing the underlying issues. A separate bed can be a solution or a symptom. You have to figure out which one yours is. Here's what adaptation looks like in this scenario. Maybe you start with 1 night a week back in the same bed, treating it like a date instead of an obligation. Maybe you keep separate beds, but increase other forms of physical closeness during the day. The solution doesn't have to be all or nothing. Or maybe you have the conversation you've been avoiding, the one where you admit this feels weird and you're not sure what it means, where you ask her if she's noticed the distance too. where you both acknowledge that something shifted and you need to decide together if you want to shift it back. The irony is that the longer you wait to address this, the more entrenched it becomes. What started as a practical sleeping arrangement becomes a relationship structure, and structures are harder to change than habits. Before you know it, you're celebrating your 20th anniversary from separate zip codes. Present-day reality check. You're already sleeping separately, so the damage, if there is damage, is already happening. The question isn't whether to disrupt the status quo, it's whether to keep letting the status quo disrupt your connection. Every night you spend apart is a choice, even if it doesn't feel like one. Think about what you actually want. Not what's normal, not what other couples do, not what seems easiest. Do you want to feel close to your wife again? Do you miss the intimacy of shared sleep, or just the idea of it? Your confusion might be your instinct telling you something's off. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You might rediscover that you actually like sleeping next to her, or you might confirm that you prefer the distance, which is its own kind of answer. Either way, the weirdness is data, and ignoring data doesn't make it go away. The cycle continues as long as you let it. Separate beds lead to less physical connection, which leads to less emotional connection, which makes sharing a bed feel even weirder, which justifies staying separate. It's a perfectly self-sustaining loop that requires conscious effort to break. Despite all the think pieces about modern relationships and alternative arrangements, the same old truth persists. Physical proximity matters for most people. Your body knows things before your brain admits them. If sleeping separately feels wrong, it probably is, at least for you. So here's the striking reality. You're not asking if separate beds are normal. You're asking if you still want her, and you're terrified of the answer. That's the real question, and a mattress can't solve it. Tomorrow, you'll wake up in your separate room again, unless you decide tonight is different. The weirdness only gets weirder with time.